Liverpool are one game away from winning the Premier League title, their 20th league title victory, potentially against Spurs at Anfield next week. They've relegated Leicester City as well. We're going to break down the massive goal from Trent Alexander-Arnold, some observations from the game, and what this means for Leicester City as well. Another club relegated from the Premier League so early as well. We're talking end of April, 2 out of 3 sides relegated. We have to start off with what the game kind of meant for both sides. Obviously, Liverpool wanted to win it today. Impossible with Arsenal's result against Ipswich. A massive win there as well. But ultimately, I feel like all these games now for Liverpool are just little observations for Arne Slot to get into next season, understand how his side are maybe going to cope without Trent at right back. Connor Bradley came in, thought he was really, really good. The interchange between Luis Diaz, Jota came on, Salah, Gakpo, Szoboszlai as well. There's some more learnings for Arne Slot. There's no question about it. But ultimately, the things that have got Liverpool over the line this season and winning the Premier League title, easily, let's be completely real, easily, we're here today. A clean sheet, a powerful midfield performance from Gravenberch, from McAllister. I liked Tsimikas today. I thought he was bombing forward really, really well. You have to say, Leicester City actually put on a show for their fans. It's been dire. I think it's 8 or 9 games in a row at the KP Stadium where they've not even scored a goal, Leicester City. You deserve to get relegated for that alone. They can't even put on a show for their fans. They're getting relegated in the most embarrassing, almost boring kind of way. It's a sad story for Leicester City fans. But today, let's be completely real, they had their chances. Mavididi was really, really quick, powerful, putting on big chances. Buonanotte had a chance, Jamie Vardy in the first half. But ultimately, it was down to Leicester City's shocking defending for a small moment in the second half. Going into talking about this game on this channel, going on to just watching the game, I thought Hermansen all season, when he's played for Leicester City, he's been decent, actually. He's been a decent player. I thought Connor Cody's come in to the back line and actually improved things a little bit. I mean, it's all relative to the poor standards that Leicester City have shown this season, particularly when you're playing with Wout Fez, who might be the worst centre-back in the history of Premier League football. I thought things had improved slightly. I like Thomas at left-back as well. But Hermansen in the second half, I don't know what he's doing. This ball gets whipped in and he's punching it. He's flapping at things. It bounces onto Salah's head. It bounces onto Jota, who hits the crossbar 2 or 3 attempts from this corner, I think it is. And Trent Alexander-Arnold's come on and he smashes it with his left foot. It's his first left-footed goal for Liverpool ever, which is crazy. He scores the goal. It's a massive, massive goal. You can see it in his eyes. He runs over to the Liverpool fans in the corner of the KP Stadium, rips his shirt off. He takes the yellow card with ease because it could be his final goal for Liverpool Football Club, certainly in the Premier League. We don't know if he's ever going to come back. We don't know what's going to happen. But ultimately, he celebrated like a man that wanted to show to the Liverpool fans how much it meant to him, wanted to show to the Liverpool fans what getting Liverpool 1 inch closer towards the Premier League title means to him. And that should be obvious to any football fan. But we saw it today. Massive, massive celebrations. These weren't muted celebrations from Trent Alexander-Arnold. They were big, punchy celebrations. And actually, if you look back at the goal, it was a fantastic finish from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Has the Premier League ever seen a more complete right back in terms of what you can do on the ball? I think the most complete right back I've ever seen is Gary Neville. Kyle Walker, very, very close for his athleticism. But on the ball, his ability to finish, his ability to set up chances, his numbers, his offensive numbers are out of this world. And if, Liverpool, it's only Leicester City, but getting one step closer to be able to win it at Anfield, take it out of Arsenal's hands. Trent has chipped in a little bit with a big goal. Late on in the game as well. It was a bit of a deadlock. And again, I thought the keeper for Leicester City had a decent performance as well. I think he'll look, Trent, there could be a little bit of regret. I think if Van Dijk leaves with him, if Salah leaves with him, I think there could be, you can be a little bit more easy with the move. If you're moving as a Scouser away from Liverpool to Real Madrid, you see Salah down the road at Barcelona, you see Salah in Saudi Arabia, it makes things a little bit different. But when you're seeing Van Dijk stay and Salah, I still think it's a fantastic move to Real Madrid. But there'll be a lot of concern there from Trent. I think there'll be a lot of regret. I don't know the guy, of course not. But Next season, Liverpool could surpass Manchester United's league title victories amount. They could get to 21 league titles next season, and they'd be strong favourites to do it. I think City are really far away at the moment. Arsenal, we never know. Chelsea are a million miles away. Liverpool could retain the Premier League next season quite easily. That could happen. And Trent will be in Madrid, and they surpass Manchester United. That is another record that you would want as a Liverpool fan through and through. So it is an interesting dynamic that this week Van Dijk's stayed on. Trent scores the goal. It could be his last. And he'll be looking back and thinking, have I made a mistake? Especially with Real Madrid. It can be a very strange project at Real Madrid. Yes, they're always favourites to win the Champions League, but Barcelona look good as well. So it's going to be an interesting move. If he goes, again, I've never slagged him off for wanting to leave and explore things, but it's just an interesting moment. He scores against Leicester City. Will he regret not being part of a side that could go on to win it next season as well? It's a very, very interesting situation in the Premier League. At one end of the table, we've got drama. We've got 3 or 4 sides going for the Champions League. Villa, Newcastle trying to break in again. Obviously, Nottingham Forest, Man City and Chelsea. It's crazy. And then you've got Arsenal in the Champions League semi-finals. Liverpool doing bits, winning the Premier League title and doing well themselves. At the bottom of the Premier League table, has it been it's so depressing? Has it ever been so depressing? Back-to-back seasons where all the sides are going to get relegated who got promoted. And there's some sad story about Leicester City because they won the FA Cup in the last few years. They won the Premier League title. Obviously, none of those players are still there. But someone like Ndidi's been part of it. Pereira's been part of a good Leicester City side that were pushing for Champions League positions under Brendan Rodgers. Won the FA Cup as well. Jamie Vardy, part of the all the great Leicester City sides in the last 7 to 8 years. If a side like Leicester City, you've got an incredible training campus. I've been there. A good stadium, good fan base. Owners that were ambitious and lofty in the transfer market and have kind of had a few issues in that regard in terms of financial fair play. If they can't stay in the Premier League, how are Burnley going to stay in the Premier League? How are Sheffield United? How are Coventry City? How would Bristol City stay in the Premier League? How would Leeds United? I mean, we talk about Leeds' owners being fantastic. Leeds got relegated a couple of seasons ago. Leeds United. So it's a very, very tough situation. The Moneyball sides, Bournemouth and Brentford and Fulham, that are getting maximum value out of every signing they make, and they're staying in the league pretty easily. Even Wolves, they're making things very difficult for these promoted sides. It's getting harder and harder to find an edge. And Leicester City this season have been absolutely found out. A lot of people thought Bobby Reid would be a smart signing. A lot of people thought Mavididi would come in and rip up the Premier League. I think he's been decent. Jamie Vardy, far too old really to be doing it. It's just a sad day for Leicester City. Relegated to the Championship. They'll be worried they won't do what Luton are doing at the moment. They could be relegated to League One Luton Town. It's not going to be as bad as that, but you never know. You don't want to do a Portsmouth. You don't want to do a Leeds United. You don't want to go into League One. And that's what Leicester City have to think about now. No back-to-back relegations. I like Leicester City a lot, but a million miles from it today. Look, Liverpool going to win the Premier League against Spurs. To do it at Anfield is way better to do it at your home ground for obvious reasons. And I've been saying it on this channel, been saying it on other channels. To win it in front of a full stadium will be completely different to the COVID Cup. It will. It's not Liverpool's fault that what happened during COVID. COVID messed everything up for a good couple of years. This is a real season with real fans in the stadium, and Liverpool going to win it against Spurs, which is juicy as well, against Ange Postecoglou, who will be pulling his hair out yet again. Liverpool have been absolutely fantastic. I think final word would be on Arne Slot. Calm, collected. And you need a manager that can grind out results in the Premier League. You do. You need a little bit of a boring manager. As much as Pep is a beautiful manager, Ferguson, Mourinho, they can also be so boring. Leicester City away, touch boring. It's an inevitability. But you need a manager that buys into that a little bit. He does the basics right. He gets the midfield ticking. Good possession today from Liverpool. Little moments of quality. And that's why Liverpool have won the Premier League this season, because they've been a little bit boring. No, pragmatic, simple, and keeping the basics and the fundamentals right when Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City have all struggled to do the basics well this season. They've been absolutely fantastic, Liverpool. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you watch this far, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you very, very soon.